my husband Andy and I had a beautiful little girl in 2006. Unfortunately, we found out soon after she was born that she had a heart defect, which meant a lot of days in the hospital. Unfortunately, she only lived to be 18 months. We were left brokenhearted as well. And how could we keep her memory alive? Reading is how we bonded with her. So we just knew that books was going to be the tool that we could use. So 5 months after she passed in June of 2008, we started that first cart.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Livewire. Joining us in studio today is Krista Layman, director and co-founder of Kart, a local nonprofit organization providing books to children in the hospital. She is here to discuss what her organization does and how Kosciuszko REMC's program, Operation Roundup, has impacted them. For background for our listeners, Operation Roundup is a voluntary program that allows KREMC members to round up their bill to the nearest dollar. Those extra cents are donated to the program fund held at the Kosciuszko County Community Foundation. A KREMC committee then reviews nonprofit application and distributes the grants. We are excited to hear from one of these organizations in our local community today. Hi, Krista. How are you doing today?
Oh, great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. We're glad to have you. What is Kart and what is your mission?
Kart, like you said, is a local nonprofit. We were founded in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Our mission is to just provide a comforting diversion to hospitalized kids, and we do that through the gifting of new books.
That's awesome. Books definitely bring a lot of comfort. What is the story behind your organization?
Yeah, the story. The story really starts with our daughter, Kate. My husband, Andy, and I had a beautiful little girl in 2006. Unfortunately, we found out soon after she was born that she had a heart defect, which meant a lot of days in the hospital. Actually, over 180 days in the hospital, where Kate was diagnosed without having a pulmonary artery, and then multiple procedures, including 5 open heart surgeries, where doctors and physicians tried to fix her heart. Unfortunately, she only lived to be 18 months. We know that we tried everything, but her heart just couldn't withstand it. So after her passing, obviously, our family, we were left brokenhearted as well. And how could we keep her memory alive? So many times you're asked as a young family, well, how many children do you have? And we found that question really trying because we didn't want to leave her out of our family. Even though she wasn't here with us anymore, she was still a vital part of our family. So during our hospital stays, we found a lot of power through reading. Kate was very frail, obviously having that many heart surgeries. She wasn't able to walk or crawl, but she could read a book or look at a book or touch the fuzzy dog or the slimy scale of the snake or whatever it was. So, plus there was at least a month after her first open heart surgery where we couldn't even pick her up. So reading is how we bonded with her. Reading is how we let her know that we were there. Because, with an infant, with a child, you can't really have that discussion, but a parent's voice is so powerful and so healing. So we read to her a lot. So we just knew that books was going to be the tool that we could use. We didn't get any books from our hospital stays here in Fort Wayne, and so we reached out to Lutheran in Fort Wayne and said, hey, we have this it's just a little idea, just a mustard seed idea of how to encourage other families and to help us heal. So 5 months after she passed in June of 2008, we started that first cart. My husband and I, Andy, pushed it, and we were able to give out books to kids that were in the hospital, and boom, all of a sudden, it's been 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story and your journey. And, thank you for taking a tragedy and, making sure that other people who are going through similar things can have some comfort during those times. How, and you've covered this a little bit already, but how does Kate's Cart impact kids?
So I think any child, even any family who is experiencing a hospital visit, it's scary. I don't care if it's your first visit to the ER because of a high fever or a fall out of a bunk bed, or if it's another weekly visit because your child has chronic illness. Being in the hospital is just hard. It's lonely. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of people coming in and out of your room. And so what we found from our own experience and what we hear time after time from testimony and letters from those who've been impacted by our program is, thank you for providing a sense of normalcy. Thank you for providing some comfort, some diversion, just anything that takes us away from the current crisis, per se, that we're in, the current environment, and making it a little bit more real. Parents who have NICU babies tell us, it was the first time we felt like a parent. We couldn't necessarily hold our baby. We couldn't feed them, but we could read to them. We've had parents tell us, thank you. It's the first time that book made my child smile in days. Perhaps a new diagnosis or an illness, and whether it was a funny character in a book or a silly line in a book, and we saw our child smile for the first time. Thank you for giving us something to do with our child. Thank you for reminding us the importance of the healing that can come just through bonding as a family.
Yeah, it's amazing how the little things in life, the small things like a book, can really make a big difference when you're going through a difficult time. How many hospitals is Kate's Cart located in currently?
Yeah, it's crazy. So like I mentioned, it was a little idea that we would just start at Lutheran. Mm-hmm. We truly, as a family, thought, well, we'll do this for 6 months, maybe a year, with the memorial money that we received after her passing. But it's 17 years. We're currently in 25 hospitals. So we serve kind of the whole Northeast Indiana corner and Ohio. So maybe we're global. I don't know. We're on our way. But those 25 hospitals have 46 carts in them. Some of the larger hospitals might have a cart in the emergency room and the pediatric floor, the med-surg floor, if there's an oncology unit, that kind of thing. So 46 carts out there filled with brand new books that are bringing hope and joy and normalcy to kids all over Indiana.
That's incredible. It's incredible what a tiny, small little idea can grow into over the course of 17 years with the support of the community around you. How many books do you distribute every year?
We're on a growth. We did slow down a little bit during COVID just because it was harder to get into the hospitals, but we've been growing year after year. This past year, we gave out 52,000 books in a year. In July of this year of 2025, we celebrated the amazing milestone of 500,000 books that we have given out to kids over the journey of Kate's Cart. So we're on track, I think, to maybe be in the 54,000-ish range. But like I said, that trajectory is growing every year as we continue to add hospitals, continue to add carts, and just be more impactful in the hospitals we're serving.
That's awesome.
It's about 4,000 to 5,000 books a month.
That is actually a little bit mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. I always find myself like I was at a Comets game and I looked up how many seats are in the Memorial Coliseum, and I'm like, okay, we give out more than this books, to see it, because we're just doing it day by day, right? Every day books are coming into our office, every day books are leaving, but then to try to quantify that number in one location, it really is mind-blowing.
Yeah, and it's easy to hear a big number and not really process it, and then you look at a stadium and you're like, that is a lot of people. And,
I think University of Michigan Stadium's 100,000 people. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so we could put 5 books on every seat in that stadium.
That's wild.
That's crazy. It's mind-blowing, and it's just humbling
Yeah.
because we couldn't do it without the community support.
Yeah. It's amazing
Yeah.
what can happen.
Yes.
What are some of the most popular books you distribute?
So, like I said, our mission is to provide a comforting diversion. And that comfort for kids usually comes through characters that they know and love. So, again, in a hospital situation, a young child, a lot of foreign equipment, foreign people they don't know. And so they're instantly drawn to any character or book that they know because it takes them home. It says, I know this. And so in this unknown environment, all of a sudden, the Disney princess or Junie B. Jones or a series that they've been reading for years, like, I know this. This is comfort. So, we serve 0 to 18 with the little kids. Paw Patrol, Bluey is huge right now with the little ones. Then you get into like the picture books. The kids love animal books, dinosaurs, again, princesses. We have a wonderful series of books that come with a necklace or a ring or a bracelet, and the girls just love those. But we're also serving teens as well. And so there's chapter books, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's been around every year since we started. I think there's coming out with his 20th book this year. But then there's also, activity books, world record books, just fun books to read. So the important thing is that they're those popular titles that the kids recognize, and all of a sudden that's like, okay, I know this, I'm comfortable, something that I know, and that just helps them in that time.
Yeah, it's amazing how much the books from your childhood and even your teen years kind of stick with you. Because I'm sure, I still have books on my bookshelf from when I was a teenager, or even younger than that in elementary, where you learn to read for the first time, and those really stick with you. So
yeah, the dads, we serve NICUs, which are the neonatal ICUs. So babies that are born sick like Kate, maybe they were born too early, and so those families are there for weeks. And I love it when we're there and we knock on the door. It's Kate's Cart Day, and maybe mom is holding the baby or busy, and she sends dad out, and he's like, okay, I got to pick out the perfect book. What do we have? And he sees Dr. Seuss. Yeah. And all of a sudden he's like, oh my gosh, this was my favorite book from when I was a child. I remember reading this. And so again, that connection of bringing their childhood and then being able to share that favorite book with their child, it's just an awesome experience to see.
Yeah, that's incredible. Do you have a personal favorite children's book?
I do. I was a teacher before this life change, and I'm totally honored to be able to do this for a living. But so I love books, obviously. Our favorite book to read to Kate was a book called Runaway Bunny. And it's about a little bunny that talks about, what if I do this and run away? And the mother bunny's like, well, then I will come find you, and I will go in a rocket ship and find you in space. And that was probably our favorite. Huge fan of Eric Carle. Love all of his books. And I'm also a huge fan of Mo Willems and the Elephant and Piggy books. Such fun books to read aloud. Lots of emotion that you can put into the book to do that read aloud.
Yes. Those are all great books.
There's so many. With this, having almost personally seen, when I think, okay, I've seen 500,000 books come in to our office and be distributed, and new ones come along every day. And I'm like, this is a great book. This is a great book. This is a great book. There's so many amazing children's books out there.
Yeah, there really are.
So many creative people, the crayons that came back or something like that. Amazing, hilarious story.
Yes. So much creativity goes into those.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Do you have a favorite story or moment that really shows the impact of Kate's Cart?
So how long do we have? I could talk for days about the stories. And what's amazing to me is, because of the hospital and HIPAA and privacy, I know we are only catching a glimpse of the stories of what's happening with these books, because we have to have the people come to us to tell those stories. And if you're listening and you have been impacted by a book, coming back and telling us these stories is one of the greatest gifts you can give to Kate's Cart. But several ones, we heard a story from a gentleman. He stopped us in the parking lot and he wanted to tell us about how, like, 13 years ago, he was in the hospital with his daughter. And he talked about how she was having seizures, and so she had to be hospitalized for several days and be monitored, and they were doing scans and stuff like that. And we had given them Curious George Goes to the Hospital. And he said she read that book over and over. She was only like 4, but she left that hospital knowing every word, sight word in that book. He goes, that book brought us so much joy and laughter during those scary days. And he whips out his arm. He goes, I got a tattoo. And he had a tattoo of Curious George and the man in the yellow hat on his arm. And he was just like, that book made a forever impact in our family. He's like, my daughter's going to go to school for nursing because that experience normalized her hospital. Just heard this summer about a family who unfortunately had a child that only lived for 10 days, and they never really got to be parents. They never got to do the things that every parent should be able to do with their child. The only thing they could do was read, and that's what their parenting journey was just reading to their child. And they put that book on the tombstone because that's what parenting, that's what family, that's the good memory they had of those 10 days. But we hear stories of kids who jump out of bed and hug the volunteers because they got the brand new release of Die Very Wimpy Kid, and they would never, ever be able to have that for themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, when they hear, I get to take this home, like, this is mine, this is my copy. It's just overwhelming what a book can do. It's a $5 to $10 book, but it is so much more powerful when it's put in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. It's amazing how much those stories can impact us and become a part of our stories and our lives. And
yeah. So many just amazing stories of people who said, we were hurting, we were at our lowest, and you were there for us, just through the gift of a book. Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing the impact a book can have.
It is.
Truly. You kind of already covered this. What does it mean to a child and their family to receive a book while in the hospital?
Yeah, I know the days and days that I spent sitting in Kate's hospital room, and most of her days were in Indianapolis, or her final 3 months were up in Peyton Manning was where she was in Indianapolis, Mott's Children's Hospital up at University of Michigan. And, like, it's lonely, and the world is going on. And, you know, you'd look on social media or whatever and be like, oh, everybody's else going about their life, and I'm here just waiting for the doctor to come in and tell me what's next. So for these families to know that somebody's thinking of me in this time, I think is huge. I think to provide that distraction, people rushing to ERs, and they're not thinking about packing a bag to, you know, of something to do for the 6 hours that they're there waiting. So to have that, even the families who know that they're going to the hospital, just to have something new, just to have a surprise, just to have somebody knocking on their door and saying, hey, I just want to bless you today with a small book. It's the community. It's just knowing that we are not meant to do life alone. And so Kate's Cart is there for your hospital visit.
Yeah, that's awesome. It definitely makes sense that it brings back an element of humanity to hospitals that are often, you know, very sterile and kind of can take that away. How do you choose what books go on the carts?
Yeah, so it's fun. Like I mentioned earlier, we are about popular titles, so really paying attention to bestseller lists. Anytime there's a new movie that comes out, it kind of ignites an excitement for that series, that book. And, you know, we've been doing it 17 years. We know what flies off the carts. We know what books the volunteers are reaching out to us and saying, hey, yeah, we're all out of princess books, or we're all out of Dogman books. So bright colors, fun, interactive. The amazing thing is we're able to buy them in bulk from publishers. And so it may be a $15, $20 book, but we're able to get it for $4 and make it affordable for us as a nonprofit to be able to provide these great, fun, current title books.
That's awesome. What are some challenges your organization is facing?
Yeah, I would say overwhelmingly we're blessed, but as a nonprofit, we're governed by a board of directors who have a passion for us, and I think one of the things is our growth and our sustainability into the future. I have looked and researched and have not found another organization like ourselves in the country. I have found book programs that serve one hospital, but I have not found another outside organization that serves multiple hospitals within multiple networks. So we're serving Parkview Health, we're serving Lutheran Health, we're serving IU Health, and we're even serving the independent ones. So just learning how to grow and expand is always kind of a challenge, because we're getting calls from all over the state, even all over the nation, saying, hey, how can we bring Kate's Cart to our hospital? So having that strategic mindset of being able to grow, but also be able to sustain us. I think, honestly, the further we grow away from Fort Wayne, the harder it is to fundraise and support in that community. So we don't want to just pick these random cities throughout the nation or throughout Indiana without having a plan of how we can support those. How can we fundraise in that county? How can we get books to that county? And so that's probably the biggest challenge that we have, which is a great challenge, right? We would love to be able to grow, but just doing that in a way that makes sense and is sustainable.
Yeah, that makes sense, because often sustainability is one of the hardest challenges nonprofits face.
Exactly.
How has Operation Roundup impacted you and your organization?
So it's so important as we do grow and as we continue to serve counties outside of Allen County that we have that support. I think we're probably most well known in Allen County because that's where our office is. I think there's 7 or 8 hospitals there that we serve. Our volunteers, most of them live in Allen County where they're sharing. So when the outside counties, which there's 14 of them, step up and say, we love what you're doing and we want to support what's happening in our county, is just obviously helps us financially, but is also just a testament of that county saying, hey, we want to help you do what you're doing to impact our residents. Here in Kosciuszko, there's 2 hospitals. I think we have 3 carts between those 2 hospitals, giving out thousands of books a year. So when Kosciuszko RMC says we want to support your mission, it just affirms to us that they believe in what we're doing, even though we're not have our office here, but we're impacting the residents of Kosciuszko County and making their day brighter and their experience better. I think RMC has been supporting us for well over 10 years, probably over $40,000 to $50,000 that has been given to us, which I think is amazing when you think about it. A lot of that just comes in cent by cent, 10 cents here, 47 cents here, whatever. So again, a testament to community working together to do great things.
Yeah. It's amazing what just rounding up your electric bill, those couple extra cents, you have thousands of people doing that over the course of many years. It has a huge impact.
Yes. And you think just one, but if you bring a smile to one kid, it costs us $6.25 per book to purchase and deliver. $6.25. That's all it takes to make a forever impact on a child. That's incredible.
I agree. And you covered this a little bit, but what dreams and goals do you ultimately have for Kate's Cart?
Yeah, that's hard. Obviously as the founder, our family, my husband, he works as a teacher. We have 2 healthy boys. This is our legacy. This is what we founded in memory and honor of Kate. And so I think the biggest question is what happens when we're not here? What happens when Andy and I have, grown older and and joined Kate in heaven? I think my goal and hope is that for years to come, Kate's Cart will continue to just bring joy and hope to families, and that families that have been impacted and those individuals will step up and say, this is making a difference. It made a difference in my life, and I want to continue to make Kate's Cart make a difference in more lives. So what that looks like, I don't know, but we've spent 17 hard years growing Kate's Cart. We have an amazing community that supports us. So my dream is that every child that needs it, every family that's hurting, will have a book at home with a little purple sticker that says this book is compliments of Kate's Cart. And the world will know that we're not alone.
Yes, that is a very good mission and goal to have.
Yeah, it's needed, and we've seen because of the support that the community wants it. Mm-hmm. So just because we're not here anymore, meaning the Layman family, and who knows what my boys will do, what role they'll play. It is my prayer that our family continues to play some role in it, but that Kate's legacy will last forever.
Yeah.
And that books won't go away. Mm-hmm. I think that's another thing is in this digital world that we live in, like we can't get rid of the books. We can't get rid of that opportunity to snuggle in bed and to hear a parent's voice and to read together and to laugh. So if we can be the tool to keep books being published and that physical copy of a book, that's a better goal too.
Yes, it's definitely a really important bonding experience, whether you're in a hospital or not, to read with your parents.
Yeah, so many reports and studies prove the importance of it, and I think that brings so much joy when and I don't get to do it as much as I used to because we have this amazing volunteer 3-year wait list almost of people wanting to go into the hospital and pass out the books. But when you pass out that book and the parents may be sitting on the bed on their phone and the kids in their bed maybe watching TV, and you walk back past and mom or dad or caregivers are in bed with the child laughing, reading the book, I'm just like, yes, mission accomplished. I mean, it's so heartwarming to be able to see that, okay, we provided that. Mm-hmm. We allowed that moment of healing to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely makes it worthwhile.
It is.
How can people in the community get involved and help?
Yes, we love support in so many ways. Like I mentioned, one, have you been impacted by Kate's Cart? Do you have your story to tell? We have Kate's Cart story, but you have a story as well, and that's just impactful. Share your story. We have amazing partnerships to purchase books at a discount, but when you start talking about $50,000 a year, that adds up. And so any financial support that you can give, whether it's $5 a month, whether it's a gift once a year, if you want to make a gift in honor of somebody, we'll send them a birthday card, we'll send them a letter letting them know that a gift was made in their honor. If you know a organization that wants to get involved, maybe it's a service club, it's a women's club, it's a school. We love to partner with schools during like Scholastic Book Fair. We also do take donations of new books. And so perhaps it's a book drive at your work and you collect Dr. Seuss books. We just finished up a crayon drive. We try to purchase all the crayons that we need for the year in August when they're 50 cents instead of $1.50 or $2 throughout the year. So hosting crayon drives, penny wars. There's so many fun ways that you can get your community, your circle of influence involved in and make that impact and help buy and purchase these books. We're happy to talk to anybody about ways to be involved. We'll come share our story. We'll do presentations, anything that we can do to allow the community to play that role. We're happy to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just go to kateskart.org, KATESKART. Lots of information on there. Reach out to us. We'd love to get you involved.
That's awesome. Well, I hope that some of our listeners will do that they'll get involved and learn more about your guys' organization and what you're doing, and see how they can contribute. Thank you for joining us today, Krista, and sharing about the immense impact of Kate's Kart, the impact it's having on our community and the surrounding area. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, Laura. It was great to meet you and chat about Kate's Kart. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for being here. If you haven't already, download our Digital Co-op Connections app and enjoy discounts at around 30 local businesses. This month, our featured business is La Cantina. This unique location is a cocktail bar, specialty coffee shop, and restaurant. They offer a welcoming environment with a boho design offering cocktails made 100% from scratch, along with a coffee bar offering espresso drinks. KRMC members can save 20% off drinks from 2 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Stop in for a coffee or cocktail soon.